Welcome back guys to tutorial on C++ programming language, and in this tutorial, as we talked, we're going to talk about do while loops and how does the do while loop implements. Alright, you have seen about the while loop and you have seen about the for loop. What happens is, you can see this. Let me just write a quick uh, for loop. Alright, you can see this. What is happening over here is I'm creating a for loop. Okay, now it says the value of I is 1 and it checks if I is less than 0. So what I'm doing is creating a false condition just in the starting. Alright, so it will not go inside this for loop and nothing will be printed. Alright, you can see this, nothing gets printed over here. Now if I create a let's talk about do while loop first. Okay, so how does do while loop does is you write the word do first, and then you start this body of this do while loop, and when the body ends, write the word while and you put a parenthesis, and after that you put this semicolon. Remember, in the while, when the body ends here, the body ends in a while and for loop when this parenthesis when this curly braces end. But in this you have to use a semicolon. In this loop, that is do while loop, you have to use this semicolon after the while, after writing this while and this parenthesis. Alright, there is no necessity of this semicolon into the while loop and for loop, but in do while loop you have to use it. So what does happen is I write this cout hello. Okay, let me just write just a similar program just as above in the everything. Okay, and L. Okay, now before starting this do while loop, you have to create a variable outside. Alright, just to, you can create it inside, but it will not be a good option and you cannot manipulate this data every time. So you create this, you put a constraint over here, and what else, you put I over here, and you manipulate this variable over here. So let me just build and run this, and okay, it says an error. It's a semicolon, not a colon. Okay, so let's just build and run this, and you can see this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, exactly the same loop as for and the while loop. But what is the difference in this do while loop? As I talked to you, what happens is this works similar as a while loop and for while loop, but if this constraint was false, alright, when I is greater than 10 in the starting, if this constraint is false, it is going to print one hello people. Alright, and at this point the value of I is 2, not 1, because what happens is it enters the loop without even checking this condition. What happens is when this compiler start, it creates an integer I making the value of 1, then it gets to this do and it says do first. So what it does is it print this I, that is value is 1. Okay, then print this hello world and end the line, increases the value of I as 2. Okay, then it goes here and it checks while I is greater than or equal to 10. At this point it checks if 2 is greater than or equal to 10, and it says no, it's false. So it get out of the loop and it does its work. So what happens is, even if the condition is false at this point, it still runs the loop once. So this is about do while loop, and if I check this the value of I at this point, it has to be 2, because this is also run once before this condition is checked, or before you get out of the loop. So the value of I should be printed as 2 at this point. You can see this, it printed as 2. So that's how the do while loop differs than for loop and while loop, that it actually runs this body or this statement once, even if the condition is false. So that's about for loop. And in the next tutorial we're going to talk about writing a program, a small program, on what I will I will tell you about that program, a mini program, into the next tutorial. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.